Hello, hello, Facebook family. Uh, February 21st, 2024, episode 124. Cannot believe it. We're almost done with February. 2 months in. It's only 12 months in this year. We're 2 months down almost. So, very excited about today's topic. It seems like every year goes faster and faster. Uh, I remember when I was a kid, it seemed like every year took forever. But now it seems like as an adult, it just fly by. So, uh, happy to be here today, and I'm very excited about our topic. We'll be talking about Thasunda Brown Duckett. That's going to be our topic today. I'll go into greater detail a little later on. There is a video I would like us to watch. It's about 15 minutes, so we're going to get the pleasantries out the way, and then we're going to start the video. Please put your name in the comments and where you're from. I really appreciate it. I know today's a busy day for everybody. We're midway through the week, and hopefully we can glean something from this video. I'm tremendously impressed by this individual. So I wanted to give a shout out to Karen. Karen is doing better. Hey, Mom and Dad, good to see you guys on. Karen is doing better. Keep her in your prayers. She's making a lot of progress, but she's not out of the woods yet. There's some other things that need to happen. So just keep her in your prayers and thoughts. But at the end of the day, very, very happy about her progress. We get updates, it seems like every day. So very excited about that. If you're on, please put your name and where you're from, just so I can see you. I just see numbers on my side. I don't necessarily see names. So sometimes people are on that I don't give them the recognition just because I don't know you're there. So today is February 21st, 2024. Our topic is going to be, we're going to watch a quick video, and it's about 15 minutes long. Hey, Tamika, it's good to see you. But it's a video, and it's really covering an impressive individual. And her name is Thasunda Brown Duckett. And but before I go into it, a little thanks, Mom and Dad. Before I go into it greater, I just wanted to say some of the things. Elevate is basically a leadership training program where we got different ways to do it. We can do the seminars, or we can do the class called Elevate, which is the namesake of the company. And Elevate's the acronym. Expectations, leadership, ethics, vision, attitude, temperaments, and effectiveness. And the goal is to take someone through each of those classes. It's really 6 classes because we do ethics and vision together, but it's really 6 classes. And basically we give you the foundation to leadership. I'm working on some things. I would definitely like to do a level 2 on that. Maybe get deeper into temperaments, get deeper into some other areas, especially when it comes to coaching conversations under effectiveness. But for right now, Elevate is the namesake, and then we have the seminars. And what we do on, hey, Mother Brenda, it's good to see you. What we do on Wednesdays is we basically give you a mini seminar, and we highlight people. Sometimes we highlight people, sometimes we just hit a topic. And today we're actually highlighting Thasunda Brown Duckett. And this is episode 124. And I want to get it running. Hey, Aunt Stephanie, it's good to see you. I want to get it rolling just because it's a 15-minute clip, and I want to have like 5 minutes to at least talk to you, get your takeaway. So when you're going through the video, please write down some things that are takeaways, and that way we can share them with the rest of us here and see what your takeaways are. This lady here, when I tell you impressive, she's actually from up north, but she was raised in Texas. She is Thasunda Brown Duckett. She's the CEO of TIAA, which is the Teachers Insurance and Annuity Association. That company is a Fortune 100 company, and there's only 2 black women on that company. I'm sorry, 2 black women that are on the Fortune 500 that are CEOs. So just to be a CEO, just to be a woman CEO is one thing. To be a black woman is a whole nother thing. She's a wife, a mother of 4. She graduated from the University of Houston, which my wife was like that. We watched a lot of this stuff together. And she had a degree. She has a degree in finance and in marketing. Then she went on to Baylor and got her master's degree. She was 2022's Baylor University Alumni of the Year. Hey, Aunt Linda, it's good to see you. We're talking about Thasunda Brown Duckett. She's on the Forbes list, last year's Forbes list, 2023, of the top 100 world's most powerful women. So it just kind of gives you she's globally known. So on the list, I thought it was interesting. Of course, number 3 was Kamala Harris, vice president, and then Oprah was 31, and then there you go at 34 was Thasunda Brown Duckett, and then for those that care, Beyonce was 36. So it kind of shows you that they come up with this list every year, but it's who's who of players out there in the world, and she made the list. And if you ever Google her name, Thasunda Brown Duckett, and it's Thasunda, and you'll see it later on as we go through the video. You'll see that she's something to reckon with. She's a force, and I love what I'm going to do is play the commencement speech. Yeah, did I say? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is play the commencement speech, and I love playing commencement speeches just because it's. Hey, Ann, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Ann. We're praying for Karen. We mentioned that a little earlier. I know that she's making progress, and we're very happy. Let her know that we said hello. But another thing I forgot to say about Thasunda Brown Duckett was that she sits on the board of Nike. She's on the board of the Sesame Workshop, which, when we're coming up, we call it Sesame Street, but that's just a show. But the Sesame Workshop is the company. She sits on the board of University of Houston. She's a Delta. My wife said, you need to mention that she's a Delta. And she doesn't even, my wife is not a part of a sorority, so I don't know why that was so important to her. But the thing that I thought was also important was that she's also sit on the board of Jack and Jill. And for those that know about Jack and Jill, that's a tremendous opportunity. I know some people that actually went through the program and they operated. It's a tremendous program that hardly anybody knows about. But Jack and Jill, she sits on that board also. I think I put all her accolades out there, but I hope you guys get something out of this. It's 7:07. It's 15-minute speech, and then the other thing is that they had her go to Wharton. For those that are familiar with MBA programs, Wharton is top 5. I believe last year they're number 3. So Wharton is up at University of Penn and Pennsylvania, and it's just renowned. When you graduate from Wharton, that's saying something. So she's actually giving a commencement speech at Wharton. So I'm going to play this for you, and then I just please chime in. Give me an okay or a 1 if you can hear. Look like Shar is on. Give me a 1 if you can hear the video. I always get nervous when I put a video on now. So I'm going to play it, and I hope you enjoy it.
I am absolutely humbled to be speaking to all of you on this day during this important moment in your lives. Today, we celebrate all of you, the 100th class to graduate from the Wharton MBA program. Your achievement is such a wonderful Mother's Day gift for your supporters, who include so many moms, grandmothers, aunties, and all of the other loved ones who have mothered you. So let's take another moment to show them how much we absolutely appreciate their being here today and in spirit, always lifting you up. Now, I know that you all have heard many speeches that gave you tips on the future. And yes, I will give you some of those today as well. But what I really want to share with you first this afternoon is this. I learned everything I needed to know to be a CEO when I was young. From the earliest stages of childhood, the people who raised and loved me and you were helping to shape the core components of our character, the essentials, the basics. And what I know today as a leader is that I rent my title. I own my character. So let's break that down. What does it mean to rent? And what does it mean to own? And what do I mean by character? The simplest definition of renting is when something is made available for your use in return for payment. There's usually an agreement that makes the terms clear. The thing that you rent is not yours forever. At some point, you have to give it back, like an apartment. It can even be taken from you if you don't meet the conditions of the agreement. Dean James introduced me as Thasunda Brown Duckett, President and CEO of TIAA. But yes, that amazing title is rented. It describes me, but it does not define me. Yes, I earned it, but I don't own it. To own something feels entirely different. When you own something, it belongs to you. You can claim it and proclaim it. It is forever yours. And when I think about the most precious thing I own, the thing that is mine, the thing that no one can take away from me, it is my character, and it was awakened in my childhood. You see, character is what defines you. Your attributes, your qualities, and the things that distinguish you as an individual. You see, my character shows in the way that I live my life, the way that I lead, the way that I treat others, what I expect of myself. It is also giving myself and yourself grace. The thing about defining character is that it's messy too. It's not always perfect or your finest hour. There are moments of failure, and your character shows in how you own your mess. You're building the muscle to handle it. My character is who I am. It drives my purpose, which I firmly believe is to inspire and make impact. It's my ownable asset. There are countless people in your life who have made it possible for you to be here. They have done their best, even when their best was not always sufficient. It was their best. So you are shaped by your experiences with them. When I think about my own journey as a high school student athlete, as a double major in marketing and finance at the University of Houston, working my way at Fannie Mae, also earning my MBA from Baylor at the same time, no matter where I have been or who I'm with, the essence of who I am has always been inside me. One of the reasons I share my journey is that I want leaders who are early in their careers, like many of you, to see me and know that you can be your unapologetic, authentic self and become a Fortune 100 CEO. I want all of you to know that my journey would have been very different if not for a woman named Valerie Manning, an HR recruiter who had one intern position to fill at Fannie Mae. She found that intern, and it wasn't me. But when she went back to Fannie Mae, for some reason, she advocated for me when I didn't even know what advocacy truly meant. And she said these life-changing words, "But there's this other girl." I was the other girl she went out of her way to support. And that internship turned into a full-time offer right out of college. And from there to JP Morgan Chase and now TIAA. You see, that internship sparked a passion for helping everyone improve their financial security. A passion that I was able to not just discover, but to amplify because a woman chose to lean on her character and change my life forever. So you see, you too have all that you need to succeed inside of you, and you always have. You're also part of an amazing class, not just the century class, but as Dean James said, the first class in Wharton history to achieve gender parity. Wow. You know, I say publicly that I stand on the shoulders of giants. It was the cooks, the janitors, and the secretaries that introduced my race and my melanin and my gender to corporate America. It's also the shoulders that I stand by people named Otis and Rosie Brown, my parents, my grandmother, Naomi Levert, my daughter, Madison, my son, Miles, my daughter, Mackenzie, my bonus son, Brendan. Yes, the list goes on and on. There are fearless women who have inspired me, like Shirley Chisholm, Sadie T.M. Alexander, Sheila Johnson, Marsha Fudge, Venus and Serena Williams, and all the unsung women that I get to meet every single day. And yes, all of you who are moments away from being Wharton alums. Stand on the shoulders of some truly remarkable trailblazers. Roz Brewer of Boots Walgreens, the one other Black woman CEO currently leading a Fortune 500 company. Sundar Pichai, who heads up Alphabet and Google. Alfred Liggins, the longtime leader of Urban One Empire. And John Scully, former CEO of both Pepsi and Apple. Now, I'll stop there, but of course, the list is even longer than that. And that includes so many people that are not household names. That may feel like quite a legacy to live up to. So give yourself grace. Some of you may not have been able to picture yourself standing here right now at this moment. Some of you couldn't even conceive this vision on your vision board. In those moments when you have self-doubt, when you experience those mental gymnastics of being the only in the room and wondering if you should share what you think, or the feelings of inadequacy when you want to put your hand up for a new role, but worry that you don't check every qualification in the box. Don't waste time debating why your journey was so tough when someone else's seemed easy. As my father, Otis Brown, says, people see your glory, but they don't know your story. So make sure that you go for it fully. My father would also tell me to reach for the moon. And you're talking about a man who grew up in the segregated South, who did not attend college, who worked in a warehouse. He told me to reach for the moon because even if I missed, I would be among the stars. Today, I am among the stars. The vision for a man like Otis Brown, raising a daughter who is first generation full integration, had the audacity to dream with my mother, and here I stand. So the journey you are on is where your confidence lies. So remember the energy and the grit and the perseverance that got you to this day. You have also learned empathy for yourself and for others. Always, and I mean always, go back to the moments that shaped your character and come back to this moment today. You are enough. And you know what? You always were. You belong. And you know what? You always did. And your defining moment is not where you are right now. The real accomplishment isn't that you're graduating today at Wharton MBA, although let's be clear, this is a major brag. But the real accomplishment is your student journey here and how it accelerated the rich development of your character. So take a few moments to ask yourself, where does your ownership lie? What have you really learned? What have you understood from the day you arrived and now from the day that you leave? How will you impact business? How will you impact others? You know, when you know more, you can do more. And you all know a lot more now. When you understand more, you can pivot easily and with agility and lean into your intellectual curiosity. Continue to let your intention be built on character, and history will remember you kindly. My purpose is fueled by my own ownable asset, my character. Character is what drives it all. As you re-enter the workplace, remember that you can commit to purpose and character in any job. That's what's going to get you up in the morning and keep you fired up to make impact and distinguish yourself. The lessons were culminating in you all along. It's character that will ensure that you, as Wharton alums, don't stop at being the first class to achieve gender parity. You'll go on to close other gaps because we have a lot more gaps to close in this country and around the world. Think about how you can influence corporate America to incorporate an expansive view that can truly position our country for growth, acceleration, and inclusive impact. 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women. Let's work on gender parity there too. I am one of only 2 Black women CEOs leading a Fortune 500. And there have ever been only 3 full-time CEOs. So yes, there's a lot more good trouble to get into. And it starts with character. So as I prepare to leave you today, let me offer one last point. You have seen in business school that experience is your greatest teacher. But my hope is that you will remember to tap into it and deposit it back into yourself as part of growing and developing your character. The semester-long group projects helped you understand how to quickly optimize the energy you brought to the table. The late night studying tapped into your resilience. Collaborating in classes with people who are different from you provided you with experience making connections that balance your worldview and opinions about difference. The vigorous debates with classmates or professors helped you further develop the muscle to defend your thoughts. The question as you go forth is, how will this moment fuel your next level of character? Yes, there's levels to this. Your job titles will come and go, and they are sure to be quite impressive as you advance in your own trajectory. But they are rented. You don't own them. They will fall away and be passed on to someone else. But what will remain true is the story that is told about you. It's always going to come back to the difference you made, the lives you impacted, and the people you inspired. That's always going to be driven by your ownable asset, your character, the essence of who you are. So always know that you are enough and more than a conqueror. It is an absolute privilege to be speaking to you all today. Congratulations, Wharton MBA Class of 2023. Thank you.
All right. Are you guys still there? Did you guys stay with me? Please put a 1 down. I always get nervous. There's a lot more trouble to get. I know my dad was there with me. I love the way she put that. Those kind of things really hype me up. I love hearing commencement speeches. I love also just hearing stories about people out there that are making it happen. It's so easy to get stuck into what you're doing and get tunnel vision where you only see what you're going through. But when you see stories like that, when you got a person who's overcome a whole bunch of obstacles and a whole bunch of challenges, and has the right attitude about it, and it's still overcoming. It's just something to see. I mean, this lady is basically it's a great story, and I know she's been on some channels. I think she's been on Bloomberg and CNN and some other things. I encourage you to look it up. But there's some other people I like to highlight. I try to stage them a little bit out, so we're not just doing highlights every week. But there's other people I would like to highlight that are doing amazing things out there. But I also wanted to make sure that you guys understood that that is a tremendous, a tremendous accomplishment. There's not a whole bunch of people out there making 20 million a year just to say that they're not playing a sport. She's in finance. We went over the Fortune 100 when we went over the Forbes list, not the Fortune 100, the Forbes list of the most 100 powerful women. Oprah and Beyonce are considered, media and entertainment. She's the only one in the top 50 that's in finance. So it's pretty powerful to see somebody go a different route, So any takeaways? Mother Brenda said, I love it, the character. Any other takeaways? I don't want to say mine before. I want to say while I'm talking, if you put some takeaways down, it's only 7:26. We got 3 or 4 more minutes. How do you feel about these little highlights when we do this? We've done this probably about 5 or 6 times now, where we'll just highlight a certain individual. Let me know how you feel about it. I always get nervous when I play 15-minute video clips because I don't want to put y'all to sleep. But I know everybody's not excited about what I'm excited about. But I love hearing stories like this. I love it. I love it with everything in me. This is what gets me moving. It gets me excited. It gets me to deal with the ever-growing list of problems that I undergo just doing what I do. Linda said it's great. And one thing I also wanted to say, my takeaway was I loved how she said that title's rented. I love that. I love that because I think sometimes we forget, those titles are rented. Mother Brenda said very motivating. Ann said it was good and that she recognized those who nurtured and mothered her along the way. And it was funny because all those people she mentioned besides Venus and Serena Williams were family members. Those are all family members. Those are people in her family that made an impact on her life. And just from a selfish standpoint, it's good to hear somebody honoring their father, and some of you guys will know what I mean by that. It's just good to hear that, to honor the father, because you don't hear that most of the time. You say, I love you, Mom, but you never hear anybody say anything about their dad. So from a selfish standpoint, I just wanted to point that out. The other thing I wanted to take away, and she didn't mention it in this one, but I watched several videos. One of the opportunities she has was from Inroads. Inroads is a program that takes people from complex communities and gives them an opportunity to be around and rub shoulders with people that are successful. It's kind of like a professional Jack and Jill almost, but there's a program, and that's what she went through, and that's how she got to Fannie Mae. So at the end of the day, there's always opportunity out there, and we just have to make sure our eyes are open and that we're chasing that opportunity. My aunt said, I love you, nephew. I love you, auntie. All right. Let me little moment there. So I know it's 7:29. Next week, our subject matter is Eat the Frog. I don't want to go into detail. I'm hoping that the title will make you come next week. But the title for next week is Eat the Frog. I thank you guys for coming out. Please, Ann, tell Karen we're praying for her, and that we're encouraged by the progress. Shar and I were talking about it yesterday. Like, wow, how quickly things can change. So for the good and for the bad, right? So it was good that we went through the bad part. Now we're just looking forward to continue seeing these stories that you're sending to us. We really appreciate it, keeping us in the loop. So you guys have a great one. Please remember our little slogan, be intentional, focus on growth. And Tamika said, eat that frog. Can't wait. I'm excited about this one. It's so hard for me to have to share the ones that I'm studying because it's hard, but I'm getting disciplined. But yeah, to eat that frog this next week. So I really appreciate you guys. spending this 30 minutes with me. And I hope you got something that you can take away with you. And I'll see you guys next week. You guys have a great one.